Hey, what's up, everybody? It's just Charles, and welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamerspro Show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and when we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. And today we have another fun episode for you guys. I might go off, so stick around. So let's go ahead and get into this this topic here. Now, one of the reasons I don't take Nick Wright, among many, there are a lot of reasons I don't take him seriously, but one of the reasons I don't take Nick Wright seriously when he's talking about basketball is simply due to the fact that I personally believe that a lot of his basketball takes always has some type of angle or some type of agenda. I've said it before and I'll say this again. Almost every single thing that Nick Wright has to say about the NBA somehow comes back or is related to LeBron. Every single thing, almost every single thing. I personally believe, this is just my personal opinion, this is my hunch, you can agree or disagree, whatever. I personally believe that the only reason Nick Wright has been saying that Giannis Antetokounmpo is the best player in the NBA is just so he doesn't have to say that Kevin Durant is the best player in the NBA, period, end of story. That's it. He will never say that. He doesn't want to give KD his proper just due because he views him as a rival of LeBron. And I'm sure he probably hates KD for beating LeBron in the NBA Finals 2 times in a row. He probably does. This is just my opinion, and that's what I truly believe. And the other time I knew that I never needed to take anything serious that he said was the time he said on his show, he said at no point in Kobe Bryant's career was he ever considered the best player in the NBA. Nick Wright was the only person I have ever heard say that. He is the only person I have ever heard say those words out of his mouth. I've heard Charles Barkley. I've heard Jerry West. I've heard Pat Riley. I've heard Stephen A. Smith. I heard Skip Bayless. I heard everybody say at one point in time in their, that they were coming to the NBA, that Kobe Bryant was the best player in the NBA. He was the only one. And the moment he said that, I said to myself, okay, this guy is clearly out here trolling people. He's not really trying to make sense. He's just out there trying to spew nonsense. And he does that on a consistent basis. Just last night, to just give some credence to what I'm talking about, he took another shot at Kevin Durant. On Twitter, he said, read the quote, "Shout out to KD, the greatest scorer of his generation, and I'm told possibly of any generation, who now has one more 40-point games this season than LeBron. LeBron has 50-point games this season." This is him. Who prompted him to do this? Nobody. He did it on his own. KD was just going out there minding his business. He just did this on his own. So today when I was listening to a back and forth, a segment that they were having on, First Things First, him and Chris Broussard were going back and he was hating on the Nets again. And I was so happy on today's show that Chris Broussard really pushed back on him with some of the things that he's saying. So for those of you who missed the exchange between Chris Broussard and Nick Wright just today, take a listen to some of the things that they had to say. And we're going to come back here and unpack this thing and give you guys our thoughts. Take a listen to that.
But they did. Broussard, was the close call against this, I want to call them lowly Detroit team, a cause for concern for Nets fans?
No. Look, one thing I've learned in covering the NBA for nearly 30 years, I was covering the NBA when Nick Wright was in his pajamas playing Hot Wheels, okay? And one thing I've learned is that a win is a win. There are a handful of regular season grudge matches here and there. Okay, last week, a couple weeks ago when Brooklyn goes to Philly, okay, we can learn something from that game. Maybe even last night, Milwaukee, Philly, we can learn something from that. But otherwise, a win is a win. I don't care who you're playing. The worst team in the league, Oklahoma, Sacramento, a win is a win. Now, Nick, you want to overreact to one game? Well, how about your beloved Milwaukee Bucks? Didn't Memphis without Ja Morant just destroy them by 25 points? Just destroy them. So
Memphis
should
without
I
destroyed
overreact?
everybody.
Oh my gosh.
They're 18-2,
Milwaukee's not
buddy.
ready. Well, you weren't
Memphis
saying that
without
when
Ja
you
beat
used that
Brooklyn,
very
too.
same logic to down
just
the
beat
Brooklyn
Brooklyn.
Nets, all right?
No, it's not one
about
game.
Philadelphia?
Okay, go ahead.
Hold on. How will you get your turn? How about Philadelphia? They just edged the Lakers by 5 without LeBron. Oh, how they just edged the Lakers with no LeBron? Oh my gosh, they're terrible.
Yeah.
Let's not overreact to one game because you know what they were saying in Philly? A win is a win. Okay, Secondly, you got
Okay, that's
major
good.
concerns about
there's more.
Brooklyn's defense. And Rick Bruker alluded
Yeah.
to it yesterday. One thing I liked after that
Yeah.
game last night, if you look at Kyrie Irving's post-game comments, we got to buckle down on defense. We got to emphasize defense.
Plenty of time
and here's
to
what
do
Kyrie
so.
knows. Okay,
Let me tell you Nick's angle on the Nets this season. I think it's quite simple. Nick Wright will look for every reason to discredit the Nets and hate on them because he doesn't like Kevin Durant, because I said because he beat LeBron, and he doesn't like Kyrie Irving because Kyrie Irving left LeBron James, period, end of story. I don't believe there's any, since you can't hate on his game, you got to say something else. You can't hate on their games. What are you going to say about these guys that they suck? You can't say that. So you got to look for other reasons to constantly discredit. If I'm not mistaken, just last year, I don't forget. Just last year, heading into the playoffs, and I think Anthony Davis's health was uncertain. Health condition was uncertain, his availability and all of that. Heading into the playoffs, maybe a week or so before, I remember what Nick Wright said. He said with his own two lips that he believes, or that LeBron can take the Lakers to the NBA Finals even if they don't have Anthony Davis. That's what he said. So help me understand. You had all of that confidence in the Lakers to go to the NBA Finals without AD, but you have no confidence in the fact that Kevin Durant and a healthy Kyrie Irving have a shot to at least make it to the Eastern Conference Finals. Help me understand what's going on here. What's going on here? Like, what am I missing in this entire... Listen, I think Chris Broussard, we've been producing some videos about this recently. I'll tell you why. I think Chris Broussard is doing an excellent job at finally bringing some balance to that show. If you read some of the comments from some of the videos that we produce on Nick Wright, one of the things that people lament in the comment section is this: we miss Chris Carter. We miss Chris Carter. Well, why do they miss Chris Carter? The reason that a lot of people are saying that they miss Chris Carter is because they always knew that Chris Carter would push back on some of the stuff that he says. And now it seems as if Chris Broussard is finally pushing back on some of the things that this guy's saying. And I think what it's doing is it's bringing balance to the show and it's making it more credible. When you have a guy out there going out saying these things, like he said today, LeBron is the go, like with no evidence, just throws things out there. When you have a guy like that saying these type of things and he goes unchallenged, the show loses credibility. But the minute you get some pushback in a credible, real way, where a guy's pushing back on you and saying to you, explain yourself, please. You remember the famous line, you're bringing emotions to a fact fight. When you have scenarios like this on TV, it brings more credibility to the show. For me, I don't think Chris Broussard needs to be apologetic about the way he pushes back on Nick Wright whatsoever. Because when Nick Wright is taking shots at Jordan, Kevin Durant, or whoever it is, or making ridiculous LeBron James statements, he doesn't show any contrition. He just does it. He doesn't hold back. He doesn't do it with any remorse. So I'm very happy that Chris Broussard is pushing back because that show needs balance. All of this is simply due to the fact that he doesn't like Kevin Durant because he beat LeBron, and he doesn't like Kyrie Irving because he left LeBron. Period. End of story. And no one will convince me otherwise. That is actually what I think. So these are my thoughts and opinions on this matter. Whatever you guys think, please leave your thoughts and opinions in the comment section. And we definitely catch you guys on the next episode. Peace.